Alrighty, here we are. It's like day 3. Pretty sure it's Wednesday today. I have cleaned the boat. I have taken a quick inspection of the hull. It's not great, don't get me wrong, but I think she'll sail for a year. There's, some holes, lots of cracks, lots of stuff like that. This hatch isn't sealed, and there's quite a bit of damage around it. And the wood is all rotted out here. Throw some Flex Seal over it. Same thing with over this area. Just seal it on up. Could probably use a bit of wood before I get into a stormy weather to seal up the companionway. I haven't checked these windows, but I could probably put some Fixo in there. Over here, as you can see, I took the mast off and the boom. I got them over there nice and clean. Just kind of hanging out to dry. I'll get them back aboard in their proper orientation here soon. Here's my mast pole. It comes down. Pull it right out. Set your tiller and rudder back there. I'm not entirely sure where this gets stored, but probably just in the cabin. Here's the cabin. Nothing has changed since we were in here last. I'm gonna get to cleaning this week at some point, which will be nice. But for right now, I don't really care if it's dirty. I want to be able to go day sailing, and so I am getting everything prepared to go sailing. So over here we've got the mast with our main sheet, the hull, like our main hull, and then a couple of smaller ropes. I still need to figure out what they all do. Here's the power for the mast, but it kind of needs to be redone. I think I'm going to rewire the whole thing, or at least like this section. We'll see if it works. Some lights. That's the main boom, I think. But it's a huge boom for this tiny little sail. And so I'll have to do some research and look up a few more and figure out what this is. But it's a mile long. Like, it's almost as tall as the mast. And I don't think this sail is anywhere near as wide. But maybe I can get much larger sails for it. But it is a Buccaneer yacht sails. The clews don't look too bad. Just, they're weathered and stuff, but the stitching looks pretty nice. But a lot of these plastic hanks are getting cracked down at the bottom. That's a cactus. Let's not go into there. Up here at the other end. This guy's starting to go. So we'll have to get that sorted out here at some point, but this should be good enough to get me on the water and moving under some sail power. But yeah, now I'm gonna tidy this sail up, get her nice and wrapped, and then I'm gonna open this guy, which is the foresail, the jib, the genoa, however you pronounce that word. But yeah, so far so good on day 2. This is going to be a little bit slower than the travel updates, but we will keep you guys posted. And I'm hoping by the end of the weekend, I can get out and at least just sail this thing a little bit. Just pop it in and out. The only issue is I can't bring it back to where it's currently moored with the mast up. And I don't want to be putting the mast up and down. So I'm going to have to find another place, possibly on the other side, to go dock it. But yeah, that's it for this update. Peace. All right. Here we go. It's been a couple of days since I've done a video update. Today, I've done a decent amount of work. Today, yesterday, the last couple of days. I have gotten some new line for my mast. I have re-rigged it with all of its running rigging. And then I've hooked up all the standing rigging and made sure I had all the bolts and hardware for that. I have taken a better look on the interior and started to rip some rotted wood out, which I'll show you here later. But the big focus on this video will be getting sailing. So here, let me show you what I've done so far. I've gotten some new line. I've gotten 3 rolls of this stuff. I cheaped out. I went with Home Depot line. You know, it's a small boat, small mast. We'll see if I'll regret that later. But I re-rigged the main and the jib, and then like the boom hoist. And then I've got this one, which I'm gonna rig up, probably re-rig the boom hoist with. And then here's my boom right here. I have set up all of my shrouds and standing rigging there. Put on my spreaders, made sure to kind of clean out this mop, but you know, it's just here to protect the sails. And then all of that, I've got my anchor ready. I'm just waiting on a shackle to connect this to my anchor line. And then this bad boy, who still hasn't gotten an outside cleaning yet because it's really hard to do it off of this bush. As soon as I can move it over to a dock, I will. But this bad boy will have a mast on it tomorrow. Unfortunately for me, where I'm currently parked right now, I cannot raise my mast. I mean, I could raise it, but I can't get out of this canal that I'm on with my mast up. So I might raise it and put it back down, but it seems pretty antsy. So I might just get it towed over to the dock on the other side, on the other canal where I want to, and raise it there. Or maybe, depending on how frisky I feel, I'll get towed just out to the dolphins just outside of here, and I'll raise my mast, tied up, moored up to the dolphins, or moored up somewhere near here. There's lots of little docks. I'm sure I could figure it out. But yeah, I'm super excited. I will get a little video of the top side of the boat right now, and we can see how it compares to how it first started. I haven't done too much cleaning other than just picking up some leaves. Oh, the gangplank isn't on. Never mind. We'll do that another day. All right, well, that's it for this update then. We now have running and standing rigging, and we are just ready. We're waiting on a couple pieces of hardware. Hopefully they'll come tonight, and then we're ready to stand this mast up and try to go sailing. Peace. Alrighty, here we go. Hopefully I fixed the problem of the vertical video with some horizontal video. Right now I am by my boat. I just got my mast on with all of my running and standing rigging refixed, and now I am just getting ready to tackle the cleaning and rough rebuild of the interior. So here we are. We're gonna go aboard, we're gonna talk a little bit, and then I'm gonna get to work and you can see what I accomplished today. So this is what she's at now. Here's the mast. I now have my standing rigging all set out, ready to go. I put new running rigging on, and then I have a couple of replacement lines that I might need to run at some point, but we're all good. I have not sealed the hatch yet. I still need to do that, but I did get a new couple of fenders, and you know, that's pretty sweet. So here, we'll go aboard. We are now floating. As you can tell, I can rock the boat just a little bit, which is nice. The cockpit is slightly cleaned out, but still needs some love, and needs some love with the hose, which we will get at here in a minute. Let's zoom back a touch. And now we will go here below. So there is a little bit of water that I've noticed has been there for 2 days. I don't know if it was because it rained or if it was something else, but we're gonna deal with it today with the vacuum, and we'll see if it comes back. Let me take my hat off and my sunnies. So here we are in the cabin. Nothing's changed. It's still dirty. I'm about to give it a clean. Here's the rudder. Today I want to rebuild up here after we clean. I want to rip out this piece of wood, this little box where I assume water would travel underneath, but it's just a enclosed box to rot. I'm going to see what's up with it, and then I'm going to cut most of this thing out and replace it with just a hole that we're going to store things and the chain. And then I'll probably drill some holes through here. Up in the forward, have a rope, and we can store stuff up there, and up in these little rail cubbies. I want to leave although it's completely rotted through, this little piece of wood. But as far as I can tell, there is no supporting bulkhead. Even though people tell me like, oh, be careful, but this is just, you know, really shitty ply, and it's not even, wasn't even mounted down there. It was pretty free. So we'll deal with that. And then this floor here, this stuff that's rotting, I want to kind of break most of it out and then put a new piece of wood. And then with this, I might not even put, I might take some of it out, but I might just put a piece of wood over top. I'm going to leave the bilge open so I can at least see. This is the lowest point of the boat, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then I'll get back here with the vacuum and the brush. And I can access some of it through that cockpit hatch. And then some of it I'm just going to have to climb back in there. Looks like here's some fishing rod holders. That's nice. And then on most of my dry storage is going to be over here, and then here, and then, you know, probably my oven that I just bought should fit on top of this. I'm not gonna even attempt to use. Alrighty, here we are. A little bit of an update. Things keep slowing down. As you can tell, it's not really a huge problem right now, but to make some progress, I did get a solar panel system through EcoFlow. I paid my own money, no sponsor or anything. I'll let you guys know how it is. And it's a 220 watt solar panel with a 1,000 kilowatt hour battery bank. And so I should be able to charge that up in like 6 good daylight hours. And then it also came with a 45 watt solar panel that's just has a USB-C output. So you can just plug in a phone, a device, a battery bank, something like that, and charge it up. Just small, you know, get you going. Both of the solar panels arrived today, but the 220 watt panel has a crack in it. And so I'm going through warranty to get it replaced here kind of minute one, which is fine, no big deal. The 45 watt panel works good. I used it this morning to charge up my phone, even though I'm near power and it's not a problem. But now that I've got that, awesome, 10 out of 10. So here I am in the pool of one of the people I'm staying with. I don't know if they want their stuff out on the internet, so I'm going to be very careful, but they do have some very beautiful artwork here, which is awesome. And I'm just, you know, hanging out, enjoying the sun. I did a bunch of work aboard the boat today, cut a bunch of pieces. I'll show you guys that later. But it's the hot hours. It's 30 degrees Celsius, like 89, almost 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the winter months for them, but, you know, it's supposed to be the winter months for me too, so I'm a little out of my comfort zone. But no, it's beautiful out here, and I'm hoping if that motor arrives this week and they can send out that battery bank, I'll be able to just go out, just do a little bit of sailing, come back when that solar panel arrives, and then really take off and start coast hopping. I think my current plan, if it doesn't change, which, you know, plans change every day, is to sail up the east coast towards Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, PEI, and go exploring, and then hopefully look for a better boat somewhere along the way. And I think sailing is going to be a thing. I'm even though the work is stressful, and right now I'm in a bad location for like things, hard to get to stores. The nearest store is like 10 miles away. I don't have a car. I'm on a bicycle and a sailboat that doesn't currently have a motor, so that's hard. But here, as soon as I get all that and I'm mobile and able to go to a marina and go do a week of work and then leave, I think it'll be right as rain. And as soon as I get up to Canada, I can work properly. I might look into seeing what it takes to get a visa, because I want to actually be able to work. I don't want to be scamming anybody under the table. But yeah, sorry, I'm fucking Squinty McGee over here sitting near the sun. But yeah, so that's my current update. Don't know how much of this is going to make the video. But life is okay. A little slow, a little steady. Peace. Alrighty, here we go. There is a little bit of karaoke going on next door, so don't mind the noise. Today, I have finally painted and installed a handful of the first couple panels to start rebuilding the interior is a loose word, to try to make a bunk that I can sleep in. So I'll include some pictures of what I had ripped out, but right now I'll show you what I've installed, and it's not very pretty. So I've installed these 3 new boards. I still have to paint up my labeling spots, but it's the inside. The outside is fully painted. Shored this up, made sure, let's zoom out, made sure that the bulkhead is now relatively secure. And then on this side, there was a gaping hole right in that corner. Now there's wood covering it. The next pieces is to cut a little corner for that side and a little corner for this side. I'm not actually going to replace the front. I'm just going to leave this a bigger hole than it is, and we'll store some stuff down there that isn't wet. This hole I'm actually just going to leave. I don't care. I can see straight in there. It's fiberglass on the other side. It's not a problem. My electronics are all going to sit up here anyway, so that's no big deal. I can patch that on the way. I need to cut a couple of new floorboards. One to replace this kind of main strip here. One to go underneath where this vacuum is. And then I need to cut a giant, like a couple pieces of plywood to fill these holes, and then a giant piece to go over top it, because this is going to be my main bunk right here. I'm not going to be installing a table. I don't need it. Yeah, so progress is a little slow, but today I got my motor, so I'll show you that here real quick. I got a electric 36 pound thrust trolling motor. Here she is, mounted on the stand, and just hooks up to, you know, your 12 volt battery. And then I also ordered an EcoFlow, I think I already mentioned it, an EcoFlow battery and solar system. The solar panels arrived. Here, let's look at me. The solar panels arrived yesterday, but one of them is cracked. The 220 watt panel is cracked. So I have to do a warranty claim on that and get it shipped back. And then they'll exchange it and ship it again. And then the power bank itself, the actual physical storage, is still being shipped out. It has not, it doesn't have an expected date yet, which is unfortunate because I really want to be able to leave. But I can leave. I can come back with a little 12 volt battery, right? Get up and down the river, maybe get out there, sail for an hour or 2 each day, which is probably going to be the plan this weekend if I can borrow a battery from somebody, a decent one, or maybe 2 shitty ones, and have something to get back on. I don't fucking know. I do have a paddle in worst case scenario. But yeah, that's been today's little bit of journey, painting some boards and then screwing them together to rotting plywood. But yeah, we'll pick this up again tomorrow. I'll be cutting more floorboards, painting the floorboards, but I'm not really going to be painting my bunk. I'm not super worried about it. I just need to buy enough blankets to not feel the scratchiness. So yeah, that's it. Peace. Today is March 19th. One day until it's been 1 month since I left home. My flight out was on the 20th. I didn't land till the 21st. But today is a good day. It is the day that I am getting ready to move on this boat. So, it's still in pretty rough shape, as you can tell by all the fucking missing paint and shit here behind me. But it's holding water. I have a bunk to sleep on. Don't have any cushions or any blankets yet. But, you know, it's looking all right. I'm going to take a really quick little tour of what's going on. For some reason, I'm always recording this on karaoke night around here. It's the only day that I feel any motivation to do anything, so apologize for the music in the background, but all good. So yeah, here, let me switch the camera around. So, I have cut new floorboards. They're not installed yet because they're not painted, but they fit. This long one down here to cover this galley sole. Let me go 0.5. This is the better camera. And then this short one to go underneath here. I believe last time you had seen these little cubbies that I had built. Replace some holes. Put that all back. And then now I have a bunk. Just basically a piece of plywood cut to shape. Rounded. There's another one underneath here. There's a little bit of storage. We're not going to use it. And then I vacuumed and cleaned up for the most part. As clean as it's gonna fucking be. and made room. So here's where I'm gonna have all my kitchen stuff. So tonight, once all these tools are cleaned up and put down here where all the tools are gonna go, my stove will live here, and then my water jugs and stuff that I'm using will live up here. Over here is gonna be all of my food. I have a couple of Tupperware bins that my food is all gonna be into. And then, yeah, I'm gonna store a bunch of water and food underneath this, or water underneath the bunk, food over here. It's gonna be good times. Good times indeed. I got my solar panel, a small one, and I also got my EcoFlow box, the battery bank. I'll have to take a little video of that here in a bit. But yeah, I got some lights installed up here. They're just duct taped on. They run on AA batteries. Got an extra supply of AA batteries and some air fresheners. And the next part of this adventure begins soon. Alrighty, it is now Saturday, March 21st, and I am officially moved aboard the boat. There's no going back. My stuff is out of the camper. I'm currently stuck ashore, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm not sailing. But as you can tell by this ominous sun glare through the window, and me being surrounded absolutely on every side by stuff, here I am. It's hot. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon, so the sun is heading down and coming directly in through the cockpit, which is both wonderful and horrid because it is hot, really, really hot. But now I'm going to organize some things, do a little bit of last minute cleaning, some kind of rough cleaning, and then later I'll do some better cleaning, and then make a bed, see if I can somewhat get comfy. I still don't have very many blankets. I don't have any pillows yet. We'll see if that gets solved. But yeah, should be the start of the next adventure. Alrighty, some really exciting news today. One, I broke my gangplank that I've been using to walk across the boat, and I fell into the canal, which sucks. But in doing so, I dislodged my boat, got it free of the mud that it was in, used the remaining board to push my boat out of the mud, got it floating, moored it up somewhere else. Now my boat is floating. So that's awesome. And I went and did a provisioning run today. I got a whole bunch more groceries and a couple of things that I needed, some towels and just a bunch of other, little bits. So here, let me take you on a tour of my now fully moved in and somewhat tidy, it's not perfectly clean, but somewhat tidy, interior of the boat. Take a look. Alrighty, so here we are. She is floating in the canal. So here's the cockpit area. I've got my companionway covered up so that no bugs and stuff are getting in here. There's nothing really to be seen here forward. Here inside the cockpit is my rudder and tiller that I have made, a couple of buckets, some clean water, a bad bucket, a bucket for using the washroom while we're out and don't have access to a toilet, my companionway shutters to keep the rain out, and then here we'll lift the curtain, so to speak. We'll take off my shoes and we'll go down below. So first things first, as we step in, it's me standing at the companionway. We've got the main bunk here, port side. It's pretty good. It goes all the way back to about here. So it fits my whole length. I have a couple of small mattresses on there right now, but I'm going to have some bigger ones. To the starboard over here is our galley. So we've got our stove, our little cookware. Let me take my hat off and come aboard. So we've got our stove, all our canned food up along the back there, extra propane and dish soap and ant killer. We've got a cooler to keep our cold stuff, although I don't have anything that needs to be cold other than some sweet tea. We've got a bin full of dry storage for all of our, pasta and macaroni and trail mix and flours and all that kind of stuff. Up here, I've got a whole bunch of noodles, 12 beef, 12 chicken. There's a bunch of Kraft dinner, some stovetop, some Slim Jims, all kinds of cool stuff. And then over here is all my pots, pans, cutlery, plates. I just got a couple new pans. Forward over here, I've got the EcoFlow 1000 or 1 kilowatt hour, 1,000, I don't fucking know. But the EcoFlow box here, it's pretty good. We'll let it turn on here for a second. It's all charged way up, 96%. It's pretty good. Up here, I've got all my new rope replacement lines. And then over here, I've got all my old rope and that kind of miscellaneous stuff. Down here, I've got a backpack full of documents and books. And underneath that is the sails. This is a vacuum cleaner I just got today, a little plug-in one. This is just a box full of miscellaneous stuff that'll probably get thrown away here soon. And then here's the boom for my mast, so hopefully it will come out of here soon. If we look towards underneath the cockpit, down this way is where I pointed to. So this is a place where I get to hold all my fenders. There's some wood, and there's a little bit of deep storage if I really need it back there. And on this side, I've got my tools and some paint and a little piece of plywood and a, paddle. A large wooden paddle hanging out. And then, yeah, underneath this bunk, I've got all of my clothes and then dirty clothes over here in a bag. Today, I just picked up these 2 7-gallon water jugs. I gotta go get them filled up here soon. But I'll have 14 gallons of fresh water on board, plus that jug of water, which is still fresh, but probably would just be used for doing dishes and stuff. Yeah, I hate holding the camera out selfie like this, but yeah, that's it. It's pretty nice in here. Here, check this out. I can turn on AC power, and then I can turn this bad boy on and get myself a fan up in here. Woo-wee! That is nice. That for sure is nice. And what a view so far, hey? All right. Peace out.